Of the residents in the Masaki home, Ryoko had the most notorious reputation. In the years preceding her arrival on Earth, she made a name for herself as a fierce and daring space pirate, plundering cargo ships and financial institutions for their valuables. Many of her victims could remember the glow of her feline amber eyes, as well as her spiked mane of cyan hair. Her victorious laugh still rung in some of their ears. However, one of her main vices was alcohol. After one magnificent raid on a transport convoy, she was hung over and fell prey to the bumbling of a GP shuttle, causing her pirate battleship to crash on Earth one autumn day in 1994. There, she met Masaki Tenchi, who would shortly afterwards steal the rogue's heart. Her skills at escaping and surviving on the run served the household well during the coup d'etat in July, but sadly, her fighting prowess did not match that of the usurper. Gravely wounded, not just from Kagato, but also from overhearing Ayeka's pleas to Tenchi, Ryoko still chose to stand by her beloved in a Valkyrie-like assault on the Jiraiyan throne world. After depositing him, she flew her ship away, now ignored by the armada encircling the planet. Silently, her battle over, she lost consciousness, succumbing to blood loss. A week later, the lady pirate awoke in a small hospital just on the outskirts of the Dry Empire. Surprisingly, she was not placed into custody and arrested. While she was relieved not to be in chains, she remained curious as to how she arrived there. She did ask her partner, Ryoko, who transformed into her magnificent pirate battleship, but the cabin did not know either. The assault on Jirai had left the craft heavily damaged, bulkheads destroyed, and stabilizers out of alignment. She too fell unconscious, not only from her own injuries, but also from sorrow at watching her mistress bleeding to death. She only remembered speeding away from Jirai, frantically hoping to find some help. During her recuperation, Ryoko caught the news about the end of the coup d'etat in Jirai, but no word of Tenchi taking the throne, only Ayeka restoring order to the planet. The pirate knew where he must be, and soon enough, she returned to Earth and embraced the boy she loved. Today, the cyan-maned fury lay curled in her bed, sleeping pleasurably late into the morning. After a night of drinks and late-night movies, she had crawled into her sheets to sleep off her frivolities. Unfortunately, an incessant knocking at her door stirred her from her slumber. At first, she pulled her covers over her head, but the knocking became pounding. "Get up, Ryoko!" Washu shouted through the door. "Go away!" Ryoko yelled back. "We need you right now!" "No, you don't," the pirate retorted as she packed her pillows against her elfin ears. "The Earth is in danger!" "Then get the GP!" "They aren't here!" "Then talk Ayeka into it!" "She doesn't have a ship! For God's sake, Ryoko, get your ass out of bed!" "Get spaced, Washu!" Outside, the scientific genius scowled, genuinely irritated at the suggestion that she should walk into an airlock without a spacesuit and open the door. Not only would the resulting explosive decompression be a horrible way to die, but none of her incomplete research projects would be finished. At her side, Ayeka folded her arms and frowned at her rival's rebuttal. "Ryoko, that was hardly civilized," Ayeka criticized, "even for an uncouth criminal like yourself." "Let me sleep, damn it!" the cyan-haired woman demanded. "Not today," Washu coldly answered. Raising her hands before her, the minute redhead summoned her phantom laptop and entered lines of code. With one final keystroke, she sent the code to her network within her laboratory, where her machines executed the commands exactly. Within Ryoko's bedroom, a deep hum reverberated under the young woman as a glowing star appeared under her. Shielding her eyes, she pushed herself up on one arm, squinting at the illumination. "God damn it, Washu!" she cursed. "Get the f—" Before she could finish her expletive, the star-shaped light gave way to a hole in space-time. Unprepared, Ryoko fell into the gaping maw below her with a scream. Outside the room, Ayeka blinked with surprise at the vocalization from the other side of the door, before turning to Washu. "Give her a moment," the scientist added coolly. In a second, a whoosh of displaced air signaled Ryoko's arrival as she appeared next to the genius. Dripping wet and angrily awake, the pirate grabbed the short woman's collar and lifted her off her feet. What the hell? Ryoko demanded. You dropped me in the damn lake? It got you out of bed, didn't it? Washu retorted snidely. The Cyan Mane Fury glared hatefully as she curled her free hand into a fist. Thankfully for Washu, Ayeka stepped forward. That's enough, the princess ordered. A battleship is in orbit, threatening to destroy the planet. This nonsense is not conducive to the problem at hand. The slit-like pupils of Ryoko's amber eyes focused on her Jirayan rival. What are you talking about? Did you piss off someone else on Jirai? Ayeka scowled back. I'll have you know the battleship is Archelian, not Jirayan. Okay, Ryoko corrected. What did you do to piss off those little mech-riding bastards? It's not her fault, Ryoko, Washu answered, gaining the attention of both. They are here for the galaxy, an artifact they evidently hid on Earth. If it is not returned, they are threatening to destroy the planet. With this fact, the pettiness fled the pirate's eyes. She had had dealings with the Archelian military before she came to Earth, and she knew they did not threaten idly. Typically, their mode of operations was to issue an ultimatum, fire a warning shot, and then wait a galactic standard week for a response. Unfortunately, this interval of time translated to about 1 hour on Earth or Jirai. Thus, time was a factor. Have they fired on Earth? Ryoko asked. Not that I've detected, the scientist added, and I'd like to keep it that way. Well, there are a couple ways out of this. Either we give them what they want, or we blast them out of the sky. I assume you don't know where this galaxy is. Not at the moment, no. I spent the night attempting both to open communication lines with them and to hack the ship's systems. Unfortunately, they have all channels closed. Ryoko folded her arms. I'd rather not get into a fight with a battlecruiser. That's only if my first plan doesn't work out, Washu placated as she motioned to Ayeka. The pirate raised a brow. And she's plan A. What's she going to do, talk them into not killing us? The princess fumed while the researcher acknowledged. Actually, yes, that's the idea. Ayeka was in line for the throne of Jirai, and she's not exactly unimportant now either. Her presence on Earth might be enough to force them to back off. And if they don't? While she's talking to them, I'll be calculating the weak points of their ship so you and Ryoko can take them out. Starting an interstellar incident, Ayeka interjected bitterly. It's called self-defense, little princess, Ryoko retorted. They threaten us, we fight back. That's hardly a philosophy for maintaining any sort of peaceful relations. They're not being peaceful, you idiot. Shut up, both of you, Washu ordered. Turning to the princess, the scientist stated, Ayeka, if you can convince them to leave, everything will be fine. But you said it yourself. They might not listen to reason. To the pirate, the researcher added, Ryoko, your job is just to get us up there in their face so Ayeka can talk. If it goes bad, that's when we worry about fighting them. The violet-tressed woman turned to the side, accepting this reluctantly. Very well. Likewise, the cyan-maned Fury spun away and nodded. Fine. Good, the red-headed scientist said. Then get ready to go. I'd like not to get blasted off the planet listening to the two of you.